everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Lauren and I bring you videos about fitness and food. Today we're going to do my final thoughts and progress on the How Not to Diet by Dr. Greger. If you haven't watched part 1 of my video, I will link that up in the top corner because that really sets the scene about what the diet is and why I went into trying it for 30 days. About halfway through the 30 days, I did do like a perfect day of eating, so go and check that one out as well if you're interested to know, what sort of stuff do you actually eat on this diet. The day I'm filming this is the 25th of July, and I did the diet between the 22nd of June and the 21st of July, so I did follow it for exactly 30 days. But let me tell you, it was a challenge. I can't tell you how excited I was to eat bread like in the first fortnight, let alone in the last couple of days. I haven't had any yet, but I'm having a fry up this morning and I actually cannot wait. As a quick recap of the diet, it is fundamentally a whole foods vegan diet. So we're talking a lot of fruit, a lot of vegetables, a lot of beans, whole grains, all the stuff that you absolutely know is good for you. I drank so much green tea, so much water, and ate so many salads that it's actually not even funny. Now, rather than wait until the end of the video, I'm just going to go straight into my progress and my results. I'd love to sit here and tell you that I lost like 10 kilos in a month, but that, my friends, is not the case. In total, I ended up losing 2.6 kilos, which is about 5 pounds. And for a month, that's actually pretty reasonable because this diet wasn't a hugely drastic change for me. So actually, you know what, 2.5 kilos is pretty good. Now, the journey to that 2.5 kilo loss wasn't easy. As you can see from my weight graph, my weight really went up and down a lot. And especially at the start, in the sort of first 7 to 10 days, I just didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. And honestly, I think if it wasn't for the fact that I was filming this video, I might have just stopped completely because I did get really disheartened with it and it felt like I wasn't making any progress at all. I'm pretty sure this has got something to do with the fact that the first week on this diet, I was on my period, and I know that historically I do really struggle to lose weight when I'm on my period. And this did actually scupper me towards the end as well because being a woman, you can't escape it. So I think that did hinder my progress at the end of the month. I was really hoping to sneak under that 90 kilo mark, but I didn't quite get there. I got to 90.1 and I was so close, but there we go. And in terms of the non-scale benefits, I would say that I do just generally feel a bit healthier. I know that's kind of an abstract thing to say. How do you measure whether you feel healthier or not? But I just think if you eat that many plants and you drink that much liquid, you're just going to feel a bit better. And when you consume that many plants, you are just going to feel like the absolute picture of health. And it was also a really good way for me to just have a little bit of a reset of my diet. I think, as I mentioned in my first video, I was starting to feel like I had got into some pretty bad eating habits. Or just got out of the good eating habits that I'd established. So this was a nice way for me to just take a little pause in what I was doing and just, try and improve my diet overall. Now let's get into the cons, and my God, there were some cons. The first one is I was sick of eating boring salads. Salads of just greens dressed with pretty much just vinegar. Nobody's going to enjoy eating a salad like that. I genuinely really enjoy eating salads, but that just took all of the joy out of salad eating for me. Now, something I have done in the past and something I'm probably going to try and carry on doing is eating a decent portion of greens with either lunch or dinner, or sometimes both, but just having it as part of my meal rather than as a completely separate salad, because I do actually think that I feel a lot more satiated by my meals when I eat a healthy amount of leafy green vegetables with them. So I think that's something I can take away but incorporate it into my life a bit better, so that it's not just literally a bowl of rabbit food. The second, and actually possibly the biggest con, was that there were just so many boxes to tick every single day. So between the 24 boxes for the daily dozen and the 37 boxes that are in the 21 tweaks section of the app, there's 61 boxes to tick every day. 61 boxes. And don't get me wrong, in the first week you're like, oh my god, this is so exciting, I can tick all these things off because I'm following my diet really well. But actually towards the end of the month it just gets incredibly tedious, to the point where a lot of the time I just forgot to do it until the end of the day, and then I was having to try and go back and, you know, work out everything that I'd done that day. So I'm so glad to not have to do that anymore. And then the last con, which wasn't so bad but it was really annoying, was having to drink a glass of water before every single meal. At breakfast time I actually quite like doing this because I think it's a nice way to wake up, to be honest, with a really cold glass of water. But before lunch and dinner I'm like, oh, I just want to eat. I don't have to sit here and drink a pint of water when my meal is there going cold. So again, glad I don't have to do that anymore. And I also found that in the evenings I think it was making me quite bloated, like chugging my glass of water, shoveling down a salad and then eating my actual meal. There were quite a few of the tweaks that I didn't really mind. So exercising first thing in the day is actually something I prefer to do anyway. So weighing twice a day wasn't actually so bad. I mean, the weighing scales are literally like under the sofa, and my bedroom is like the next room over, so that wasn't really that bad. Not eating after 7 and keeping my eating window in 12 hours is something I really normally do anyway, so that was okay. But those things were things that weren't really a huge change for me, and maybe they're a hangover from when I did the diet a few months ago. One thing I will say is that if you follow this diet to the T, like on the perfect day of eating I did, you will almost certainly lose weight. But to be honest, if you follow any diet where you only eat 1500 calories a day, you'll probably lose weight on that as well. Now, I'm not saying you should go out and just eat 1500 calories of Oreos and chips, because you're probably going to be a lot healthier out of the end of it if your diet is mainly comprised of whole foods, but it is ultimately caloric deficit, so you will just lose weight through that sheer factor alone. I do think that one of the benefits of this diet compared to some others though is you don't have to count calories. You could argue that trying to tick all of these boxes off is essentially, you know, restricting your food, but I think because it's a positive action of you trying to get all of these individual foods in rather than keep stuff out, that mentally might work a lot better for some people. And the other good thing about this diet is that the calorie density of the foods that you're eating are so low that actually for your 1500 calories you get quite a large volume of food. Now, because I'm vegan anyway, the calorie density of most of my food is pretty low in comparison, so that really wasn't a huge benefit for me because I wasn't really eating any more than I normally would volume wise. Having said that though, if you're not vegan anyway, you might find this to be a really good tool. It's just to eat lower calorie density foods because you'll feel like you're eating more food but keeping your calories quite low, and tends to be that the lower calorie density foods are the ones that are good for you anyway. Would I recommend that you try this diet? I think it probably depends. If you've watched this video, my perfect day of eating, and my part 1 video, and you thought, yeah, that sounds like something I'd like to try, that food looked really nice, then absolutely give it a go, especially if you've got some weight you think you want to lose. It's not going to make you drop weight really quickly. I don't think even if I did follow it perfectly every single day, I would have lost a huge amount more than I did. And also, do you know what? The app is really good and really comprehensive, so you could probably follow the diet without actually reading the book. And realistically, I think you could get rid of most of the tweaks and you'd still get pretty good results. I think maybe the preloading concept, if you do struggle to understand when you're full, I think that's probably a really good idea. But for the rest of them, I think you can sack them off. I'm not really convinced they make that much difference. For me though, I don't think it's something I could stick to long term. It's just that little bit restrictive in terms of what sorts of foods you can eat. And it also rules out white bread, and any diet that rules out white bread indefinitely is just never going to work for me. So that is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you've got any more questions on the diet, please let me know in the comments. I hope you have a really lovely week, and I will see you soon. Oh, my foot's gone dead. Ow, 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 ow. I can't tell you how, oh God, I'm so croaky.